Namaskar, welcome to Honest Astrologer, and here I am with Capricorn and Don Corleone, The Godfather Part 2. And here I am with the analysis of Capricorn and Don Corleone in Capricorn Part 2. If you ask me, my personal favorite is not The Godfather 1, I love The Godfather 2. And of course, everybody hates The Godfather 3. But Godfather 2 is considered to be one of the greatest movies ever made. And the credit for it, I think the meteor part of it, they come from the life of uh, Don Vito Corleone, which has been portrayed by Robert De Niro, and the earlier life of the Don, which was depicted in this movie. That is more inspiring and a meaty part. So the movie runs on two tracks. One, you see Michael in all his Scorpio glory. I'll do a video on that. But the other track, which has Vito Corleone coming up from an orphan to the godfather of crime, how he rises. So that's a very inspiring and powerful story. So we'll talk exclusively about that part. So first thing, why I considered this character a Simon Pure Capricorn, which his life goes in parallel with whatever I've learned in about Capricorn. So first thing we see, these people are usually not born in luxury. They almost always have a difficult childhood for whatever reason. So in this movie, we see that his father gets into conflict with the local mafia with a character named Don Chicho. Don Chicho murders his father, kills his brother. His mother goes to beg mercy for Vito, who is shown as 7, 8 year old, very quiet boy. But he refuses. The Don Chicho refuses to, pardon his life. And his mother begs. He says, "Look, Vito can't do anything. He's so stupid." Capricorn is a sign which almost always is underestimated, especially in their childhood. In middle ages, these people become very strong. I often joke that ever since I was 36, I've been 18. So that's Capricorn for you. So they are old in their young ages, they are young in their old ages. That transition happens somewhere between 36 to 42 years. Usually around the 40th year, it is complete. So Vito Corleone has a tough childhood. He's smuggled out of Sicily. He's sent to the USA, and he is an orphan who just works in a bakery to make ends meet. He gets married, lives in a ghetto. He's very quiet and unassuming. He is a married, honest man who's trying to provide for his family, who's trying to work hard, make ends meet. Your typical pure Capricorn who doesn't want to get into trouble. But around his late 30s, trouble comes to him, and he gets involved with local mafia, a man named Don Fanucci. Don Fanucci, rather forces his employer to fire Vito and give that job to his nephew. Then, out of desperation for his children, okay, for his family, Vito gets involved in some sort of petty crime, but he makes good money from it. So when it comes to any kind of business, Capricorns are the champions. Just can't beat these guys. And even in his crime, he's pretty smart. So with his friends, he is running a very sweet little profitable racket. Then again, Don Fanucci comes and demands that they give him his hafta, that they give him his share, and he demands for $300. So Vito convinces him to take less, and while others are afraid, Vito is not afraid. His friends who are habitual criminals, Clemenza and Tasayo, are afraid of Don Fanucci. Vito is not. And he tries to judge that character. The highlight of that movie was his conflict with Don Fanucci. So he says, okay, I will convince him to take less. You guys pay me $50 each. I'll handle him. And they're like, how will you do it? And he's like, I'll make him an offer he won't refuse. So that is when the dialogue was born. He goes to Don Fanucci and convinces him to take less money. He was told a time kharab chal raha types. and he happily accepts it. And that is when he realizes that this man is a lot of hot air. He does not have the kind of integrity, the backbone, or danger. Otherwise, he wouldn't have accepted less than half the amount. That is when he decides it is safe to kill this fool. There would be no retaliation. A man who will sell his backbone for $100 and gamble on his reputation for $100 cannot be a real don. So then he chases him in a dark place and surprises him and shoots him dead. That is how the legend of Don Vito Corleone is born. Then he starts a small business. Again, the beauty of this is he doesn't start in his own name. He starts a business in the name of his friend. So his company is called Genco Olive Oil. Uh, Again, there is the second scene, which is the highlight of this movie, is the rent wala scene. His wife comes to him saying that a friend of hers is in trouble. The landlord wants her out because of a puppy that her boy has been hiding in that place. So he doesn't like dogs. He wants to throw them out. So Vito reluctantly agrees to get involved. He goes there and talks to the landlord and is like, here is some extra money every month. You take this from me. You just let the lady be. And so he is not using his muscle initially. He is using his money. That's again a very Capricorn move. You will try to solve things peacefully as far as possible. But that and landlord tries to act tough, and so he says, okay, take this money and do not let the lady know. And every 6 months, I'll give you a 6 month advance. And he offers him more money. So that's very Capricorn. He's trying to buy peace. So Capricorn would never get into a conflict as long as they can avoid, as far as they can avoid. They would try to pay their way out of it. This is not an Aries or a Leo or a Scorpio. Then he says, okay, here's the money, and the puppy stays. And then that pisses off the landlord, and he threatens to kick his Sicilian rear end all over the place. He doesn't lose his temper. Vito doesn't lose his temper. He doesn't say, "Tu janta mera baap kaun hai." No, no, that's not Capricorn. Uh, he says, "Keep this money. Ask about me. My name is Vito Corleone, and if you want to return this money, I'm fine with that. But you'll find that I am a man who knows how to return a favor." So of course that man goes around, finds out, and next day he is shivering and coming to Vito and begging for his forgiveness, and he even reduces the rent by $10. Again, there's very beautiful negotiation. He says the rent remains the same. Vito keeps looking at him. Okay, I'll reduce it with $5. Is again looking at him. No, no, I'll reduce it by $10. And Vito is like, okay, $10, thank you. And that man is so nervous and happy कि boss pind chuta, at least made a friend with Don Corleone. So the real show of power without being brutish, that's Capricorn. And their reputation precedes them. They are very unassuming. So we see this character rises to the occasion, assumes leadership. Remember, Capricorn is the most mature of all leadership signs. It is the last of the cardinal signs, the 10th sign of the zodiac, the power sign. And he never threatens. Capricorn doesn't make threats. They have soft words and hard actions. And they try to make more friends and less enemies. But when they make an enemy, they see it through. These guys can be ruthless. I'll agree to this. Even that Don Chicho fellow who had killed his father and his brother and his mother. In the later half of the movie, Vito goes back to Sicily, plans his revenge, kills that man. So that is how these guys have long memories and dangerous minds. But they will make peace as long as possible. Most importantly, he went through all the bloodshed but kept it to a minimum, did violence only when absolutely necessary and very, very impactful. And he built an empire which his children inherited. And again, he never wanted his children to enter the illegal business. He tried to get things legalized, and he would tell Michael, I wanted you to become a lawyer or a senator, and I never wanted you into this. So, through and through, a family man, an empire builder, and a man of honor. So I hope this video was enjoyable and informative, and I'll see you in the next one. Jai Shanidev.